I don't want to live in a hole anymore. It makes me feel poor.
We are poor, but we're happy.
Come see, come ça. Anyway.
You don't look at Daddy the way I look at Noah. You don't touch or laugh. You don't play. You don't know anything about love. So
Oh my God, my Shayla, my Shayla.
Once I took your medication to know what.
Gardeners have planted white roses when I specifically asked for red.
You could always paint the roses red.
What an odd thing to say.
Every time something big happens, I want to call him. He was one of my best friends, and he was like a brother to me growing up.
I'm sure we're taller.
Your new girl is my clone. Think I didn't see it.
Okay. Why are you laughing? I wonder if Rita's looking at this same moon at this same moment. I like that. Connect. I wonder if Rita's looking at this same moon at this same moment. I like that. Connect.
Calling you to say.
Focus, 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 focus.
Every time she looks at me with those big, innocent eyes, all I can think about is every shitty thing I've ever done, and I think, I don't deserve that kind of love.
Look, Bojack, I don't know a lot about balancing a state budget or how a bill becomes a law.
I feel a little bit like I failed. I'm watching all my friends move on with their lives, and they're all moving forward, and it's like I'm stuck here. My baby don't mess around because she loves me so, and this I know for sure. But does she really wanna, but can't stand to see me walk out the door? Don't try to fight the feeling, cause the thought alone is killing me right now. Thank God for Mom and Dad for sticking two together, cause we don't know how.
when I walked into your dagger for the last time, it's that
Nothing compares to the fever dream. It's what I do. I wait for you.
What are some songs that make you feel like the world is so beautiful? I'm talking like looking out the window, driving down the highway, the scenery is gorgeous, and there is not a problem in the world. Drop them in the comments, I'll make a playlist. We'll have some fun. Be safe. Stay strong. I love you.
Watch what you say to me.
So write me a letter. I'll always be right here.
I just wish I had like a huge fucking wiener, so like whenever people were mean to me, I could just flop it in their fucking face.
My God, she's giving me pleasure. I wanted to be your woman. I wanted to be your man. I wanted to be the one that you couldn't.
Baby, if your love is in trouble.
Nothing's gonna hurt you, baby. She was fine.
Girls all over the world.
There's nobody else for me, and I don't want anybody else. Maybe I'm.
The gardeners have planted white roses when I specifically asked for red.
You could always paint the roses red.
What an odd thing to say.
Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fine.
This was Saga, bitch.
Trust me when I say I've never smelled better, and no, I'm not talking about the perfume that I've been using. Babe, I'm talking about my pits, my breath, my private area, everything. Babe, let me be your sign to start taking chlorophyll. Let's start a full body detox. Her fantasy box is literally the shit. Like, they know what they doing. Baby, all those toxins that are holding in that odor in your body, I'm talking about if you excessively sweat, your pits everywhere, taking chlorophyll is gonna release all that shit. I'm talking about you're gonna smell fresh, or you're gonna smell cleaner. No, I'm not saying it's gonna make you smell all like yummy or like you used a new perfume. I'm talking about if you basically want to compare it to taking a shower without the soap and washing all that sweat, those odors off of you. Emphasis on actually wiping away that odor. I'm a girl's girl, so I had to put you ladies on. But yeah, chlorophyll capsules, you need it.
Those monsters are really scary. Especially with those sticks.
I'm not quiet, you've been quiet, just receiving what you said. Reeling, feeding, feeling filled by everything you fed. So write me a letter, I'll always be right here, closer to you. You had me the whole way through, but I couldn't say the words like you. I was scared and to go, but I wanted to. Can't remember how to say your name, let alone count. So write me a letter, I'll always be right here.
I'm sorry I couldn't keep my promise. You probably don't remember, but I was really serious about building that gorgeous house with a big yard. A house on a hill where you could see the sea.
Just as hard, harder than you showed up after work, I'm bathing your body time.
What if in God's eyes you weren't the angry daughter? What if in God's eyes you were just a girl in need of a present father? What if in God's eyes you weren't the daughter with a heart full of hatred and rage, the girl who wrote disturbing words on every blank page? And what if in God's eyes you weren't the daughter who blew up and threw a screaming fit, but rather the girl who kept her emotions inside until she couldn't physically take it? Maybe in God's eyes you were never the angry daughter, but rather the little girl who needed love and care, whose anger stemmed from a deep despair.
It's not like me to be so mean, you're all I wanted.
Do you know where the
jobs in cities. I hated holidays, babies, history, newspapers, museums, grandmother.
The gardeners have planted white roses when I specifically asked for red.
You could always paint the roses red.
What an odd thing to say. The gardeners have planted white roses when I specifically asked for red.
You could always paint the roses red.
What an odd thing to say.
Let it go. You can throw a party full of everyone. I was wondering, can you hold me? Did I cross the line?
I wake up and I think again, really? I have to do this again? Every time something big happens, I want to call him. He was one of my best friends, and he was like a brother to me growing up.
So write me a letter, I'll always be right here. No, it's for the better. No, it's for the better. No. We said I wanna be in love with another.
Sometimes in my dreams, I see a life where my mother never met my father, and she smiles and dances barefoot in the kitchen, turns up the radio just because she can, and opens the windows in her bedroom. While putting clothes on hangers in her closet, she hums songs she used to love. In that life, she doesn't have me, but she's happy. She doesn't brace herself when she hears a door slam, and she doesn't flinch at the sound of footsteps behind her. In that life, there's no one who makes her feel small, who takes the light from her eyes and leaves her in the dark, who holds her close just to keep her from leaving, who tells her he loves her while holding a knife in her back. In that life, I am not there to hear her muffled crying, to watch her force herself to be strong because she thinks she has to be for me. I am not there to see the dreams she put on a shelf, the ones that grew dusty and out of reach, sacrificed in the name of making a life she never chose. Sometimes, in my dreams, I watch her in that life, free of everything that bound her here, leaving dishes in the sink and following her dreams, not throwing them away for the sake of her children. And in this dream, I'm not there, but somehow, in that world, she feels whole, not because she's had me or anyone else to save, but because she finally got to save herself.
How is that possible?
This video is for my thick girls and my thick girls only, so if you are a skinny girl, scroll past this video right now because what I'm about to say might disturb you. This is strictly for the thick girls, okay? So I'm gonna give you a second to leave. Now that they're gone, y'all ever been when it's hot outside, or maybe you're seeing your man and you get a little nervous when you're seeing him and you're a little thick in the thighs, so then like you start sweating down there and it turns into swamp coochie? Because I'm a victim of this, okay? When I walk, my thighs rub together, and sometimes it can start getting a little spunky down there. You know, nothing wrong with that. That just means that we're thick as hell, as we should be, okay? But let me put you guys on to something that is going to help with that swamp coochie. Y'all, this right here, this is my holy fucking grail. I literally take these with me every single place I go, just in case I run into someone who might need one. These are body deodorizing supplements. This neutralizes any body odor, okay? I'm not just talking about regular coochie. I'm talking about period coochie. I'm talking about morning breath. I'm talking about scalp odor, toes, all that. I'm an anxious sweater, okay? Every time I see my man, I be having the sweat between the thighs. I be having the sweat underneath the boob. Ever since I started taking these, I have zero BO. I'm even sweating less, and I have zero morning breath. It's because this has mint, chlorine, chlorophyll and parsley. And because you're ingesting it, you're going to be feeling fresh 24/7 without having to reapply deodorant or swimming in that swamp that's cooking between your thighs. Leave the link for these right here down below. It's on the TikTok shop. You get 30 capsules for 30 days. I take mine once every 2 days and I still notice the same effects. So if you want to save some coin, you can also take one every 2 days. It depends on how crazy your swamp is. I'm just trying to put y'all on because this is a game changer.
I wouldn't strip the shirt off my back for many people, but for my sister I would. I'd find empty scraps off the ground and sew them together so she could stay warm. And no, I don't know how to sew, but I'd learn how to for her, and she might forget to take the trash out once in a while, and I might scream at her through her bedroom door for stealing my clothes, but if she needed shoes, I'd walk barefoot. Feet sinking into gravel, blood coming from my soles, while still asking if she wants me to carry her. And if she was hungry, I'd peel her my last orange. She probably doesn't know it, but if I saw her breaking down, I'd use the sewing skills I just picked up and stitch her back together, pulling thread from my own skin, if that was what it would take. My sister is not just my blood, but she is half of me. I think about the day we'll both leave this place, our childhood rooms with their chipped paint and faded posters, and leftover laughter that we've left behind. Maybe we'll drift, find ourselves oceans apart, in lives that don't always leave room for each other. And yet she'll always be a part of me. The half I'd never trade, the mirror that reflects who I once was and who I want to be. We might fight over silly things, but for her, I'd give everything. I'd give her all the light left inside of me, even if that left me empty, even if it made me nothing, as long as it meant she'd never feel alone at night. Because I loved her before she had a name, and I think she's still afraid of the dark.
Hey, slow down. All right? Feel your feet on the floor.
I'm probably gonna delete this after I post it, but on the off chance that it could help one person or someone will be able to relate. I don't know how else to put this, but I feel like I'm failing at life. Every single aspect. I am 25 and I have never been more unhappy. I don't have a relationship, which is fine, but I also don't feel like I have friendships. I'm failing at my job and just being made to feel like I'm not good enough. The few relationships I have with people in my family honestly just don't feel very healthy for me. I just want to put this out there and be vulnerable for anyone who feels that way, to know that you're not alone. Coming from someone who thought she did it all. I've got 3 million people on here, but somehow I'm still failing at everything, even when there are a million reasons to give up. I hope you do what I'm doing and you keep going, because maybe it gets better one day. That's what I tell myself.
I felt my heart break when he looked at me and told me he didn't feel the same way. When I breathed in and reminded myself I expected this, in my exhale I felt the shatters of it pierce my lungs, and as I stared at his smile and told him I understood, I realized I still wanted to see that smile every morning. I still wanted to be his every day. I realized nothing had changed. Nothing except the remains of my heart tumbling inside me, internal bleeding. I was dying, but he was smiling, and I told him, let's still be friends. And I rebuilt myself as he said yes, because all I was thinking is I can keep him if I just never bring it up again. I'll never bring it up again.
I'm trying my best. No revenge, because one day in your late 20s, you'll sit at your third bar of the night, 4 shots deep, talking to the 5th girl you saw walk through the door. You'll force small talk and ask her what she wants to be when she grows up. She'll look at you and laugh because you are both already grown, and it's your first of many realizations that it's too late. You are too late. No revenge, because her laugh will remind you of mine, and it all hits you at once, the thoughts of what we could have been. No revenge, because as you wobble out the door, leaned up against a wall on the sidewalk, you will scroll through your contact list and search for my name. It'll take you a second to find it because your impaired vision and shaky hands keep spelling my last name wrong. No revenge, because after 10 minutes of scrolling through your phone, you will find my number and click call. No revenge, because I will let it ring again and again and again. No revenge, because one day when you're outside that shitty bar, you will realize what you lost. You will realize the girls and the alcohol and the drugs could never replace me. No revenge, because one day you will miss me, when the revolving door of women just isn't enough, and you realize you were grown and everyone moved on. You will miss me. No revenge, because my absence alone is the greatest revenge of all.
You aren't feeling God's presence because Christianity is not an emotion. Just because you asked God for a sign and he didn't give one to you doesn't mean he's not real, or that he's not listening to you. Just because you didn't flip your Bible to a random verse that was exactly what you needed to hear does not mean the Lord is not with you. Something I really used to struggle with is thinking to myself, oh, since I'm not feeling God's presence, I must be doing something wrong. But that literally could not be farther from the truth. Nowhere in the Bible does it say we're going to be feeling God's presence 24/7. But the Bible definitely does say that God is with us regardless of what we are feeling. Psalms 39 verses 7 through 10 says God is present in your life every moment of every day. He is waiting to reach out to you and to help you live your life by the power of his Spirit. Hebrews 13:5 says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. And one of my favorites is Psalms 139 verses 7 through 8. And it says, where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths of the earth, you are there. He is with you, girl. Trust. Don't you worry about it.
It's 5 a.m., couldn't sleep, scrolling through TikTok, right? See this video of this girl talking about this guy that's never been seen again because he tried to snowboard the north face of Mount Everest. And I was like, oh, what does the north face of Mount Everest look like? Like, is that, like, really dangerous? So I Googled the north face of Mount Everest. Yo, look this shit up. Look this shit up. Because why in the ever-loving fuck would you try to snowboard the north face of Mount Everest? Like, the little TikTok video I saw, there ain't no way. Like, I was sitting there, I was like, trying to map out, like, where you could possibly slide in the face of this mountain. And all the comments in that video were like, there ain't no way. You're never seeing this man again. And guess what? You never saw him again. Like, good for you that you have, like, the bravery, but also, bitch, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, be smart. Be smart. You got some brain cells up there somewhere. Use them. That shit's like, just look it up.
Ladies, I freaking did it. I found a gift for a man that they will actually like. That most men should like. Not just a few of them, but a lot of them. Here it is, y'all. This is 50 different magnetic mini bits for an electric screwdriver. Tell me what man is not gonna like this. Check out all the little bits that it comes with, and all he has to do when he's ready to use them is grab that out of this little case, snap it into place in the screwdriver, and this thing goes in 2 different directions, and it also has a little light so it's easier to see. This thing even has different levels. You can go lower to make it slower, or higher to make it go faster, or you can lock it so it's not moving at all. And one of my favorite parts about this entire thing is how nice this freaking case is. He's ready to put it away. All he has to do is put it in this thing, snap it down, and put this in there, and it's all ready to go. So he won't lose all those bits. Now, when I saw this, I seriously thought it was gonna be at least $100, but it's actually only like $70. Top of that, they currently have like a 43% discount on this right now, so you get it way cheaper than the price it usually is. These are going to run out quick around Christmas time, so you definitely wanna grab it if you wanna get that deal. I'm planning on getting a few of these for a few of the men in my life because it's just such a great gift. I'll link it right there so that you can get it too. I'm so excited to finally get them a gift that they're actually gonna like this Christmas.
I am sick to my stomach. I just got home from the mall, and on my way out of the parking lot, I was coming to a stop sign, and there was this old man laying on the ground, and I was hesitant to get out of my car, so I rolled down my window, and I looked, because I thought maybe it was like a ploy, you know, people trying to get you out of your car and then snatch you, but upon further inspection, he was laying in a pool of blood. So I got out of my car, and I ran over to him. And he was gurgling on blood. I was trying to talk to him, but he couldn't say anything. He was just gurgling. I thought he was dying. And before, you know, like, there was cars driving by him and, like, slowing down and looking, and nobody stopped. So I was the only one that stopped, and I waited with him. I called 911, and I waited with him until the police and the ambulance arrived. And once they got there, he was able to lift his head up on his own, and he told the officers that he had fallen, but his legs were facing a hill. His body was just positioned weird. He lost a tooth. His head is just covered, drenched in blood. And he told the police officer he fell, but he didn't sound right when he was talking. And just the way his body was laying and positioned, it seemed like a car hit him. But I'm just speculating. I don't know, and I don't know if he's gonna survive. There was just so much blood. And people were just looking at him. Nobody was stopping for him. I really, really hope he's okay, but it was just, his head was cracked open. He was missing a tooth. I'm traumatized. I never watch the news, but I'm gonna watch it tonight to make sure he's okay. Oh, I don't see how there's any way that he would be okay. There was just so much blood. I feel sick to my stomach. I'm gonna watch the news tonight and I'll let you guys know what happens.
I had a terrifying interaction with a man last night at the grocery store. Also, why is the grocery store so scary after 9 p.m. when you're a woman by yourself? But anyways, for context, I'm wearing a oversized hoodie, sweatpants, and Uggs. Okay, literally minding my business, doing a little late night grocery run. And I'm looking for sour cream in the dairy section, and this guy comes up to me, and it kind of caught me by surprise. He's just like, oh, what's your name? And I was like, oh, I'm Kaylee. And like, I grabbed my sour cream, put it in my car. He goes, nice to meet you, Kaylee. And I was like, yeah, you too. And I kind of like walk away and go to the cereal section. And so I'm looking at the cereal, and I can see him out of my peripheral vision walking up to me from down the aisle. And I was like, oh God, just don't look. Just keep staring at the cereal and act like you're really busy and focused on the cereal so that he doesn't talk to you. And then he goes right in front of me, and he goes, so Kaylee, can I get your number? And I was like, no. Just like that, no. And he goes, why not? And I said, because. And he was like, well, why not? And I said, because I don't want to. And he said, well, is it because you have a boyfriend? Is that why you're saying no? And I was like, no, I'm saying no because I don't want to. And he's like, well, is it because I'm not your type? And I was like, no. And he said, well, you at least owe me an explanation. Like, I need an explanation. I said, I do not owe you an explanation. The answer is no. How many times do you have to say no until a man leaves you alone? It's like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? And then I keep saying no, and he's literally trying to force me to give him an explanation. I don't have an explanation. The explanation is that I don't want to, so leave me alone. And so we're like having the staring match. I'm trying to like hold my ground and just like stare him back down because he's staring me down, and I'm trying to act like I'm not scared because I feel like once you act scared, they have some sense of power over you. I don't know. So I'm just like staring him down like I'm not fucking scared of you, like leave me alone. And then he was like, well, give me an explanation. I'm like, no. And I said, bro, leave me the fuck alone. And like I walk away and I go to another aisle, and every single aisle I go to after that, I could see him also go to the aisle. Like I'd be in the middle of the aisle and he'd like go towards like the end of the aisle, and he would just be like pretending to look at stuff at the end of the aisle, but really he was just staring at me, and I could feel him staring at me. And then I would look at him, and then he would give me the look like I'm watching you look, like scary, creepy, eerie look. And so then I would leave that aisle and go to a different aisle, and literally the whole fucking time. And it made me forget like 4 things on my list. And also, there was like no one in the grocery store. It was almost empty, and the only other people in there were like male workers, and I started to feel like I was being hunted. And so I waited a really long time, and I took extra long grocery shopping to make sure that he had definitely left by now before I even check out and think about going to my car in the parking lot, because I thought for sure I was going to be followed to the parking lot. And this is a big man. He was literally like over 6'4", like big man, dark features, like thick black eyebrows, black hair, wearing a fucking scarf and a trench coat. Like, and so finally I finished my checkout, whatever, and I went out to my car. Thank God he wasn't there, but oh my God, terrifying. Why do men not leave you alone when you say no? If you're a man watching this and a girl tells you no, just say, okay, thank you, have a good day, and walk away, leave her alone. Because you make me feel like I'm about to end up on a true crime podcast. Like, seriously, you're scary.
God, don't wash your face like that. Don't rub your face like that. Literally, you try not washing your face for 2 days and then tell me how you feel. I haven't washed my face in 2 days, and it is in desperate need of a deep clean. Like, if I get up close, it's kind of really scary. Like,
Where's my second nose ring at? Already know, naturally, I'm gonna be using my African black soap. Love this stuff. Literally any impurity I have on my face, this soap gets rid of. Blackheads, whiteheads, 2-day-old makeup, little white crusties, anything. It gets rid of all of it. This shit deep cleans my skin. And I don't know about you guys, but I get like a lot of like dry white crusties in my eyebrows, and ever since I started using this soap, I like don't get them in my eyebrows anymore, which is actually like so refreshing. I usually get them like right here, like in this area. Because I'm crazy, y'all know I gotta rub the shit out of my eyes. Is great, however, at getting rid of dried up 2-day-old mascara. I'm telling you, when I wipe my face down, I'm gonna look like a brand new person. How do I look better with a face full of soap than I did when I started the video? This soap is also great for eczema outbreaks. I moved like 2 months ago to like a super dry area, and I don't know if that has anything to do with my eczema outbreaks, but it's like the first eczema outbreaks I've had in like about a year. And I also haven't been washing my face, so like that might literally have nothing bad to say about this soap. People are like, oh my god, the African black soap like dries my skin out. Literally any soap or cleanser is going to dry your skin out. Where's my nose ring? Oh, it's in the sink. Any cleanser or soap is gonna dry your skin out unless said otherwise on the packaging. Use a moisturizer. And then I also see a lot of comments that are like, you could literally buy this stuff at Walmart for $5, but it sucks. That's because the stuff at Walmart is not real. It is fake. I've tried probably 5 to 10 different brands of African black soap, and this one right here is the only one that I've ever used that like was real and like didn't suck, didn't break me out. But like, if you have sensitive skin, don't use this. I probably have the most, not the most, I'm being exaggerated, but my skin is super sensitive, given I get eczema outbreaks at this point like every other day now. I'm telling you, just get a moisturizer, it'll change your life. Because if everything is making your skin dry, you're just dry. But yeah, now that my face is like clean now, look how much better that is. So much better. I'm not crusty anymore, and it's so nice. Like, oh, my skin feels so good. I hate sleeping in my makeup, and recently it's becoming a habit, and it's like kind of fucking my skin up a little bit. That's something that I need to work on. But yeah, African black soap, I love that stuff. Here, it's right in this link if you want it. I think I buy mine for like $5. I think it's $5. I'm pretty sure it's $5, maybe $6. I bought some of them for $4, so I don't know. The price changes between like $3 and $6 like all the time. Either way, it's a great cleanser, super good at like deep cleaning, I want to say, because this shit, it did deep clean the fuck out of my skin. Yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.